Okay, so if you feel like modern life just has this constant low-grade hum of anxiety, well, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're looking at a fascinating stack of sources today. They offer this really unique spiritual interpretation, kind of a Kabbalistic framework, actually.
Right. For understanding all this global tension.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they position the struggle not as, external politics, but as this radical internal transformation.
Yeah.
So our mission today is really to cut through the noise and try to figure out how these sources say we can navigate what they call the mark of the beast system.
And the framework they provide, it really reframes the whole conflict, doesn't it?
Totally.
We aren't talking about some future financial crash or like a physical battle down the line.
Wow.
Instead, the struggle is all about consciousness. It's a battle for our consciousness and, well, the fundamental architecture of reality itself.
And they're pretty clear on defining the trap, this beast system, symbolized by 666.
Yeah, the number.
It's presented as a symptom, right? An illness. Since 7, traditionally, that's wholeness, the divine.
Completeness.
6 is always incomplete. It's perpetually one short. So 666 is like this triple reinforcement of being trapped solely in the material.
Just stuck in that repetitive material loop.
Yeah.
And that incomplete reality, they argue, it actually runs on blindness.
Runs on blindness.
Yeah. It convinces people that this material world, data, consumerism, just transactional stuff, that's all there is.
And that turns people into, what do they call them? NPCs.
NPCs, yeah. Non-player characters. Just sort of sleepwalking through a pre-programmed script, unable to even question it.
Okay, so if the system runs on this blindness, how do we, switch the lights back on? Because the sources make this really wild claim. The cure was planted before the disease. How is that defined? What's the blueprint?
Well, the solution, they say, is encoded in the 13 attributes of mercy.
The 13 attributes. Okay.
And to ground this a bit, these attributes, they were revealed to Moses, right? But the Zohar, the main Kabbalah text, reveals them secretly.
Secretly? How?
By looking at 13 specific words found right there between the first and second time Elohim, or God, is mentioned in Genesis 1, verses 1 and 2.
Whoa, okay. That's incredibly specific.
Yeah.
Why does that placement matter so much?
Well, the implication is huge. It suggests that the deepest infrastructure of the universe, what we might loosely call the laws of physics, isn't just about order. It's fundamentally imbued with intrinsic compassion and mercy.
So the universe's default setting is actually kindness.
That's the idea. Yeah. Mercy is baked in from the absolute beginning.
That's a beautiful concept. But okay, how does someone move from just understanding those 13 attributes to actually living them?
It's a mechanism.
Yeah, what's the practical mechanism? They talk about this arc and actual life force prism. What is that?
Okay, so the arc here isn't the wooden box. It's your own heart, your own consciousness, reconsecrated, turned back into a spiritual vessel.
Your heart is the arc. I like that.
And when you align that heart, that arc, with those 13 attributes of mercy, you become what they call a life force prism. Think about what a prism does, right? It takes unified white light.
Refracts it.
Exactly. Into all its colors. Compassion, truth, justice, mercy, all flowing through you.
Okay. And the result of becoming this prism, what does that do?
Your consciousness basically recalibrates. It changes your frequency, and that makes you essentially invisible to the frequencies of the beast system.
Invisible? How so?
Well, the system runs on lack, on fear, on separation, right? If you're operating from this core of infinite mercy and unity, you're just not compatible.
Well, not on the same wavelength?
Not even close. Its programming just can't hook into you anymore.
So the big question then, for you listening, is probably, okay, what if I feel like I'm already marked somehow or just compliant? What's the practical step, the act of rebellion?
Right. The very first step, they say, is simply to question the beast system. Just start questioning.
Turn the question marks into seeing.
Yeah. Turn that confusion, that I-S, into I see. And the active work, the ongoing practice, is what they call cosmic teshuva.
Teshuva, yeah, means return.
And exactly. It's a conscious return to your divine blueprint. How? By actively embodying those 13 attributes in your life, day to day, and anchoring yourself back in unity consciousness, not isolation.
And there was that profound little wisdom nugget we found, too. We do not talk about Fight Club.
Ah, yes, that's crucial.
Why does that mean here?
It means the real work is internal. Any kind of ego-driven engagement with the system, arguing online, fighting these external battles, broadcasting conflict.
Yeah.
It just feeds the very energy the beast system thrives on. Fear, anger, division. You just give it more power.
So don't feed the beast.
Got it. Don't feed the beast. Now, if we connect this internal struggle to the bigger picture, this redefines Armageddon.
Okay, how? Not a final war.
Not a physical war, no.
Yeah.
They define Armageddon as a state of internal being they call the turtle reality.
The turtle reality.
Yeah, think of the consciousness of perpetual siege, like a turtle always in its shell. It's kingship Malkut in Kabbalah, but in its most constricted, hardened, defensive state. Gevura, judgment, without cheesed, mercy.
Wow. That sounds exhausting, just constantly guarded.
Totally exhausting. So the battle, the real choice, is literally between shedding that shell of fear or remaining perpetually guarded and isolated inside it.
So choosing between.
It's the choice between what they call everlasting life, chaye olam, which is the path of humility, softening the heart, opening up, and everlasting contempt, joy olam, which is staying inside that hardened shell of the isolated political ego.
So wrapping this up then, what does this all mean for you, the listener? The conclusion these sources seem to offer is, well, it's a choice.
A fundamental choice.
Between unconscious compliance, which they'd call the mark of the beast, and conscious alignment with mercy, with these attributes. That's the mark of the light.
Right. And this choice, this alignment, leads to this final, really provocative idea they put forward. The declaration, let me be your burning lake of fire.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds intense. Not exactly comforting.
It's not meant to be comforting in a passive way. It's not about vengeance. It's about absolute consequence.
Consequence. How?
This lake of fire represents an environment of absolute unyielding truth. False entities, unreal things like the system's programming, the fear, the ego's defenses, they simply cannot survive there.
So they just annihilate themselves in its presence.
That's the concept. Purification through absolute reality, where only truth can stand.
Okay. Powerful stuff. So here's a final thought to leave you with, based on something else we found in the sources. If the chirping of crickets is, as one source put it, the white noise of the world before the word is spoken, think about this.
Okay.
How does our current information overload all the constant digital static, the 24/7 news cycle, the endless manufactured outrage? How does that prevent us, perhaps, from hearing that deeper signal, the signal of truth within ourselves?
Good question. Something to definitely mull over.
Yeah. Something to think about until our next deep dive.